early start. We need to go run to Walmart right when they open up because we're gonna get some engine oil to top off in the Mustang, and then head over to Travis's. I will say this: the red Mustang, there's nothing what that guy had done that was wrong. I mean, I wasn't. It's not like I was on his ass, you know, the whole race. Like he pulled away and he kind of maintained and grew a gap between us. So the car looked like it had just a little bit more power than I did, and also the driver seemed to be a little bit more familiar with the racing format, with that track, with a good line. So I say kudos to that guy that, you know, that won the race, because he was just the faster guy out there. I thought I got and I got way further than I thought I would. I did not think I was going to get to the final four. And when I started looking around, you have the Ford Explorer, which is over 500 horsepower. It's all-wheel drive. Then you had the BMW X3M, or M. It was the M40i, but the X3 SUV. He had downpipes in the tune, which those make a lot of power after you kind of get those done, and it was quite quick. So it was definitely no slouch, and he was the one that ended up winning. So I will say this: like, if it got him, then it you know, I probably would have just gotten me as well. So first race I had was, I think it was early 90s, late 80s Camaro. That guy was good. It was like an SCCA autocross car, and that car was well sorted, and the guy definitely knew how to drive. And he stayed on me in the turns, but as soon as we hit a straight, I'd pull away, and then he'd have to play catch up again through turns. So that was my saving grace on the Camaro, which was my first race. And that was pretty much it. I just didn't want to lose out on the first round. So then the second round was against I got lined up with a Miata. The kid in the Miata, or I don't think he was a kid. The guy that was in the Miata was pretty quick. He definitely has a lot of seat time behind the Miata, because he ended up at one of the laps drifting around one of the entire turns. That's what the tow truck drivers were saying. So that was pretty cool. That you know, you had someone with, you know, maximum effort to it, and that was kind of a similar situation where someone was able to hold up to me through the turn, but then once we hit a straightaway, I would just pull away, you know. And I saw that from the first lap, because first lap he actually went pretty quick around that turn one, turn two pretty quickly, and I saw him in the corner of my eye, you know, at the beginning of the straight, but after that he was gone and just behind me in the mirrors, you know, dancing around with it, trying to get around me on turns. But it was just a ton of fun. I had a ton of fun. I liked how they put on the event. It was pretty good. It is a little, you feel a little lost, you know, in the beginning. So but they had a lot of cool cars show up. They had several Mustangs. They just had the two SUVs, which, you know, proved to be the fastest. So we're also going to see if we can't get Travis's Ford Explorer a little faster, and if we can get it quicker. I think he needs a better tire. That's what I think it is. If he had a better tire, he might be able to hold a little bit better. So anyways, I kind of want to get that. I'm at Walmart. They're just opening up, so I'm gonna go run in, go grab some oil. We're gonna go fill it up, and then we're going to definitely check if there's an issue with the engine. I hope there isn't. I think there's a couple of things I'm going to try to do on the way to Travis's. I'll probably do a 60 to 130 And if we're still like that 12.8 range of 6130, that's what my car was running, 6130. So couldn't replicate the smoke coming out the exhaust on the way home. So all right, let's get 5W30 down the hatch. Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah, it didn't show it, but trust me, all 8 quarts, they went in the engine. Alright, so now we just need to head to Travis's. All right, we're back. Car's jacked up. It's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. All right, so after the 6130 that I had done, a couple of them actually, they even progressively were getting slower and slower and slower. Well, we then went like, hey, let's go do some general maintenance. It's like, check spark plugs. Well, look at that. All the spark plugs are coated in oil. Coated in oil. They're all ragged out. They're all bad. We swapped them. It didn't do good. We did a compression test. And pretty much if you just take the average of all 8 cylinders, and I mean all 8 cylinders, compression's about 105. It's not leaking down. I mean, it's not leaking down. It's holding, but it's only 105. So the engine, it's fried, because that number should be at least like 190, 200, be somewhere within that ballpark, but it's not good. Go ahead and stick a fork in this. So what's going to be next? Well, you might have guessed it already. We're going to build the engine. Or at a very minimum, we're going to do a nice, cool budget build for this thing. We might do something cool, might do something exotic. Maybe there might be someone who might could help us out. Maybe find some parts, strategize a build. You put in the comments section below what you think we could do, So if we were to keep this super budget friendly, we could pull the engine, remove the heads, disassemble the heads, send those off to a machine shop to go ahead and get machined, looked over. While we're there, let's go ahead and change out valves, springs. For the bottom end, easily go inspect things, make sure the bearings are all good, get all new bearings. Perhaps go ahead and get some new rods and pistons, being that was the kind of the weak point of these engines. Not like I was really any close to that point of destruction, but being NA. But for the most part, we could do rods and pistons. We could maybe improve on that. We could bump compression up. We could make sure things are all good and hunky-dory with the short block. But for the most part, yeah, we could do that at the minimum. Or in the spirit of what the car was built for, maybe we just dial it up a little bit. What if we get, say, a Predator block, get a little more displacement, maybe see if someone's got a stroker crank, or maybe build it for boost, or heads. Someone might have some voodoo heads laying around, I might be interested in grabbing them. So we could get more displacement, more airflow, maybe better cam to go along with those heads to take advantage of that kind of a flow. Perhaps look into a better intake manifold than an 18. Could be a Cobra Jet. Maybe go get something fancy. But yeah, all the spark plugs coated in oil, cooked, and the engine just doesn't make any steam. I was comparing my old 60 to 130s to their times, because there is, if you're doing that on the draggy, it will incrementally tell you, but you could tell like toward the end what I was having to make 3 shifts in one draggy, whereas when the motor was healthy, it's only 2 shifts. It should only be 2 shifts, but it's just pressure, oil is all blowing by, so it's not holding up. There's many options of what to do, what we could do. Bare minimum, engine's coming out, it's going to get disassembled, we're going to rebuild. We'll definitely get timing chains, because I'm sure those things are just, if the engine's kind of spent, you might as well go ahead, and you're already in there, go ahead and swap that out. We'll look at maybe a better oil pump gears, crank sprocket, get new guides, get new tensioners, maybe new phasers while we're there as well. So there's several things to look at to make sure that the engine, it goes back in better. Maybe we get some more power. We're gonna, keep this thing at its competitive level, because I will say it's definitely, heck, we went to the oval track, and a Coyote that's on half of its compression, being able to be as competitive as getting to the Final Four, I'd say that was pretty cool. That was pretty interesting to see that happen. So, now what may have caused it, I don't know. Maybe it could have been wrong oil. Maybe it could have been I revved it too high. Maybe it could have been, it is a 10-year-old engine that's been constantly raced, constantly ripped on, constantly, because this thing was built to go have fun for me. It was basically the fun toy thing for me. And hey, it's, when you beat it like it owes you money, every day of its life, it's not going to be a forever thing. So kind of like how I've heard even from engine builders or tuners and things like that. Look, if you take these things, for every wide open throttle pull you're doing, you're just cutting a sliver of that lifetime out of an engine. It's not a lot, but it is what it is. So a little unexpected, but at the same time it is kind of expected. I mean, I'm applaud it for living this long. So now, we're just going to rebuild it. And after the rebuild, we're just going to get back to the program. For the most part, you guys are going to get content of what I would do, because now I am in this situation of needing to rebuild the engine. I don't think I'm going to buy an already assembled crate engine off the shelf unless a spectacular deal, really, really, jumped in my lap. Yep, like I said, hit the like button, comment down below, suggestions, parts, builders, deals, vendors, if you guys have a plug for something to kind of be considered, we will. And like I said, if you're new here, why don't you consider follow along and watch the adventures of building this engine, because we're about to see what the inside of a 10-year-old engine that's been road raced, beat to an inch of his life, just about, and let's have some fun with it.